Welcome back, Five Aces.
Battle control initialized.
Hey people, Five Aces here. Quick, I've bought myself a moment of respite. Let's get to it while supplies last, because they won't last forever. The kids are on their first ever movie night. They're usually we're not allowing them too much TV consumption, but they're watching Ice Age now, and kind of age appropriate at that point. And we are going to be watching some OpenRA while this quiet and peace is lasting. We've got ourselves a matchup indeed. We've gotten Anjew pairing up with DyingFetus. I really am on the fence about the name, a bit edgy. But he's they're up against the Ringmaster Orb and his fellow compatriot, Mr. Blackened. This is gonna be awesome. We've got ourselves Germany and Russia versus Ukraine and the Brits, who have been nerfed to hell and back, courtesy of them receiving a... Oh! Naval gameplay! Hell yeah! Courtesy of the Brits receiving the... no longer having the phase transport, instead receiving the mobile gap generator, and that one is really kind of iffy. Okay, gunboats have really good line of sight, so they're also super annoying. This is an interesting map. It's called Waihua. I don't know what that means. They actually do a decent amount of damage to light armor. Holy smokes! This is obnoxious. Right, at least there's an engineer to patch this up. By the way, this is really cost efficient. DyingFetus is now forced to repair. You know, right to repair has actually been introduced to OpenRA. More like duty to repair here. This is doing a chunk. This thing costs 500. It's basically a freebie. And the repair costs on the MCV are not insignificant. I would actually like for Orb to continue the harassment. Yeah, a rocket soldier is obviously going to shut that down easily. In conjunction with a counter gunboat, that just makes a lot of sense. Gunboats have become really self-sustainable by their courtesy of their vision buff. He's going to probably spot out the engineer, but he's not going to be in time to kill him. Yeah, and in fact the engineer is just going to pop on back into the transport, which has been appropriately upsized. Okay, they no longer miss, so they actually do a decent chunk of damage here. But this should be an easy cleanup, or at least him scaring away the gunboat. Is this the new gunboat meta? Okay, they can actually miss. Oh no. Oh no, DyingFetus, why? Why? What was the plan here? So this gunboat has been very cost efficient. Oh god, this is the Toyota wars all over again. So they do miss whenever they're on the move, and that just means that whoever gets to move and stop command the most efficient wins the trade. And that was such was the case here with Orb's gunboat versus the one of DyingFetus, but no casualties as of yet, except the engineer. I think this time this is still just an engineer, no rocket soldier. I don't know why you're staying in the perimeter. That is a very risky proposition, but I don't think he's got the range. Don't quote me on that. Yeah, should be fine here. Wait, he totally does. Does he? Nope. Orb is trying real hard, but it ain't happening. Still though, that's a 3v1 situation here. 4v1 to be soon, but there is destroyers out for DyingFetus, who is tagged up super early. This is an amazing game. Thus far we have not seen a single bit of land-to-land combat. It's all been about the... Oh my goodness, yeah. Destroyer missiles do track, so those are hard counters here. However, they're not very cost efficient here. Okay, and also they don't track far enough. So if you haul away at full speed, you actually don't hit them. Huh. This has been sort of an even trade. Obviously Blackhawks would be pretty good here. Has Orb actually tech? No, he hasn't. He's still on the gunboat meta. This is, yeah. If you've watched the stream back then in, I think it was 2017, 2018 or something, when we used to stream Crush, Kill and Destroy, which was a mod that was implemented into OpenRA, the framework. And it was really hilarious because turned out that the tier 0 vehicles were super overpowered. We had those, I don't know what they were called, but they looked like Toyota pickup trucks. And basically, every single game devolved into Toyota spam, and Orb was the master of Toyota spam. He was running a Toyota repair shop, basically. So what I would like more here is not relying on destroyers exclusively, because they can get out-swarmed easily. Instead, oh god! They do no longer have the line of sight here, huh? Look at them, they're getting chewed through by the gunboats. This is horrible. So you want a meat shield. You want some gunboats as a meat shield, and then the destroyers as reliable DPS. My goodness, that's a horrible trade here. Orb is actually real far ahead. 5.4k kills. And Anjew hasn't done a single damn thing thus far. Just playing his single player style. Has he realized he's in a team game? Or maybe accidentally in a team game? He's just preparing the APC push. What about Blackened? Blackened himself, likewise, has also not seen too much action, but at least he has secured some derricks for himself. And the gunboats have been very efficient. Gotta say here. Is Orb still on tier 0? My goodness, please do not build any destroyers. They are very, very expensive, comparatively speaking. Yeah, it's a 1k versus... You basically need to kill 2 gunboats to break even. And the way this is working right now, it ain't happening. Look at that. It's trading 1 for 1 most of the time. Rocket soldiers are obviously a pretty good counter, just mixed infantry on the shorelines, but then again, you have them sitting around on the shorelines not doing much of any use, other than warding off the gunboats. So yeah, welcome to gunboat meta. Left-hand side, the forward command has been taken, but so has the one by DyingFetus, so there actually should be economical parity. There's now Radadome almost out for both Blackened and Orb, who have gotten very late tech. The armies right now are definitely favoring the northern team because they have combined armies, whereas Anjew is all on his lonesome. So, DyingFetus, where's your army? I fear your army has been a lot of destroyers and nothing much else. Oh my goodness. The APCs are trying to connect. Oh, not finding the angle at all. My lord, that was bad. Tesla coil is, for the moment, unpowered. Now starting to zap a little bit. But that is too little too late. I honestly feel like this was on DyingFetus, who has just invested so much into his air force, into his destroyers, and none of it has worked. Man, that was just a clean sweep. That was really a one-hit punch, a one-hit KO. Oh, some good crashes here. Orb's entire infantry blob is decimated, but Blackened is untouched. And DyingFetus has no army. Yeah. Yep. Dying chances at game 1, I'd say. Oh, tanks are not connecting the way they would. Yeah, Orb would like them to. But the harvesters are down and that's what counts. And this Blackhawk is going to kill the refinery, yep. There is a yak out for Blackened. Yakkened, if you will. Yakkened no longer. Man, that is the entire eco-lines rated. Even though the trade was okay on paper, and by the way, I saw the tech center being popped down by Orb. Even though the trade looked okay on paper, one of those teams no longer has economy. 6 and 4. Yeah. It's looking a bit brutal right now. Oh my lord. Also, one heavy tank in the backlines, and DyingFetus is just oblivious. Oh no. Okay, here's the counter heavy. But this has already killed the harvester. This is already so worth it. You have no idea how big that is. That's like 40% of his economy at that point. Also, the naval forces of Orb are starting to grow and accelerate. He's the one floating as well as Anjew. Anjew is on mass sub-pens now. He's going hard. He's leaning hard into undetected naval warfare. Has the destroyer model been updated in this patch? It looks a bit different, at least from this angle. The turret, maybe. Not entirely sure, though. Man, and DyingFetus' destroyers are not connecting. They're not doing a single damn thing. They have been so inefficient this entire game. Looks the same from this angle, right? What about the production tab? Are we seeing cruises? Not yet, not yet. No tier 3 on anyone. Okay, missile subs. So, Blackened has informed me that the missile subs have now been moved to tier 2, which is a great buff because they came out way later. They came out the same time as the cruiser, and that was just not it. That just led to the Blackhawk being very, very inefficient. The missile subs being very inefficient, timing-wise, cost-wise, prohibitively costly. And with the move to tier 2, I feel that's a really good call because now they can come out earlier than cruisers. And they can provide some siege, they can provide some stealth, they can provide some harassment, all the while having solid anti-air options, having solid anti-ground options, and being undetectable on tier 2. That I think is a very, very good change. And they traded that for, I guess, some of the damage. They used to be really bursty originally, and that appears to no longer be the case. They're now solid tier 2 long-range harassment units, basically naval V2s, I guess. So, I like the change. Makes them a lot more viable. Here is the last stand for both DyingFetus and Oops. DyingFetus, dwindling chances, and clean sweep has been achieved. Some submarines from Reddened. Blackened is going on a hunt, he's trying to find something, but there is nothing much of anything in the vicinity here. Why are you still in this game? I think we're gonna start accelerating here because this is very much over. I want to get to game 2. Let's see if game 2 produces some more naval combat. Let's see. Swarm of Yaks is out here as well. The destroyers, man. But I've got to say, it's gunboats. It really was the gunboat show. Yep, GG. I think with that, we can just... There we go. Game number 1 is a wrap. We're gonna go into game 2. That was awesome. We had lots of naval gameplay. Bring it on.
Battle control terminated. Battle control initialized.
And here we are yet again once more in game number 2. This is the map that we've seen a couple times. By now it is Fresh Rain. Pretty solid map. I like it a lot and provides a lot of options. It's the one where Navy isn't mandatory, but it provides some solid harassment options. Gunboats, though, still not the best here because harvesters are moving, so they're gonna miss a lot, and they're not doing too much damage against heavy armor in the first place. They also don't have much range, and they can here easily be scurried away by some, or swatted away by some bazookas on the shorelines. So this is definitely not as much of a naval harassment map as game number 1, but still a solid option here. And I think every single time that we've casted this map, I've seen some action in terms of naval gameplay. So the factions once more, we've got okay, this time it's Ukraine and France for DyingFetus and Oops. And they're up against double Soviets. Holy smokes, that is spicy. I want to see some submarines now. Oops. I'm saying Oops. I really meant Anjew. Anjew is not having a great early game, as per usual, as is customary. I think that is just written in the statutes of OpenRA. The OpenRA constitution, Anjew's not allowed to have a good early game because he goes super hard on the greed mode. Pretty much every single time. This time he's going double ref, but not building any infantry. So why? That just doesn't make sense. Double ref, power plant, no infantry, now you're gonna start floating, my friend. Usually the way this goes is if you go double ref, you go mass infantry and leverage the pressure. Because you wanna pressure your opponent with the infantry production. If you go double ref and don't do anything off it, you're gonna start floating. Not do much of anything. And then you're still gonna get outscaled by someone who has went War Factory first. And then if you go War Factory first, conversely, you're not allowed to go for more than 20 rifles because otherwise you're gonna be bled high and dry. And your economy is gonna stall for a very long time. So with that out of the way, Blackened is reclaiming the derrick. Yeah, DyingFetus is gonna lose his derrick pretty much for free. That sucks, because you can't shoot over these walls. So this makes a tile block. Oh, here's the flank, but it is too late. Sure, that is the engineer dead, but they're still got an oil derrick now that produces a lot of income. For Blackened, it is very much in hostile territory, but it is a freebie regardless. Okay, shaving off some infantry. Oh, the medic down. That sucks. Wait, the engineer survived though. Oh, good lord! He pulled the ore truck. It is a good strategy, don't get me wrong. It is very efficient combat-wise. It looks good on paper, but it costs you so much. Was really nice of the engineer though to go the loop around. That was a really smart purchase. The engineer playing ring around the rosy with the infantry forces of Blackened. So that was a nice early game. I think the flag truck is not going to connect. No, never. Never in a million years. So Blackened has lost a lot in the early game. Gonna take a look here. Yeah, DyingFetus is doing well for himself. Blackened very much on the back foot. He's on 4 harvesters now, so should stabilize his econ relatively shortly. 4 harvesters for all the people, for all the players, because they really all of them had mirrored builds. Okay, the infantry from Anjew waiting in ambush. Flag truck, you can't shoot over walls, my friend. Wait, they can actually shoot over walls. Never mind. I remember that distinctly, because there was a strategy for that. Oh, that is good play. Making a concave, waiting in ambush here, and then just taking out the Derrick with the rocket soldiers. That was beautiful play. Good micro. He has somewhat redeemed himself. Anjew is back to the tier 1.5, to the tier 1 meta. That's not even 1.5, that is just straight up APCs and flag trucks. Alright, let's see what is cooking up here. Mass flag trucks. The APC is going to be an absolute kingmaker on the field. I think if Anjew plays this right, he can win against this army, even though it looks numerically superior. The APCs have so much pushing power, and if he kills all the rockets, just one more rocket left here. Yeah. Good night, sweet prince. What an early game from those two. Damn, that's not what I'm used to when casting them. They're not known for their early game prowess usually. However, in the wake of this, this absolute carnage, Orb has basically silently and quietly taken every single tech structure. So he is still going to scale very nicely. I think this is now in line of sight. Yeah, it is. It's a bit too little too late. He can probably kill it over the walls though, I think. Repair your vehicles, yeah, that would be a good call. My goodness, that's just a stack of rockets here. Ripe for the taking. Oh, some sacrifices have to be made, I guess. As well as the techie. Good night. Ooh, that looked painful. Okay, we're seeing regular submarines. 4 orb. You can shoot those over the walls, by the way, yeah. He's doing so right now. That is a good call. Also kill the communication center, because that provides a lot of intel. I really would hate for that to decide the game. Alright. Orb is gonna have some good line of sight here. He sees that there is no naval tech whatsoever for Oops and Anjew, which they're not renowned for, to be fair. They're very much renowned for their stock standard meta play, but they're power players, you know, just building a solid ground army and raising your buildings to the ground. Here is a base, but it's gonna have to contend with a massive army from Blackened. Yikes, and there's gonna be double field defenses coming in for both sides, actually. The first tanks are not really finding the mark, but there is such a huge brunt of infantry. I feel like, once again, overcommitment. Oh, massive overcommitment here from DyingFetus and Anjew. I was tempted to say oops because of the color scheme. On the other side, Orb is able to easily defend. Is he, though? That's a relatively solid infantry corps. Oh, Anjew not committing. There's power down. Still, though, what a terrible time to be Team 2. He has built a preemptive end mechanic, so was probably expecting the MCV to get sniped. He doesn't otherwise have much in the way of vehicles. Okay, the APCs are going in now. Oh, those are some good crushes. My goodness! The entire army just got waltzed over here. The dance of the APCs. That's the power. There was not enough stopping power here because there were no heavy tanks really. It was mostly just infantry and flak trucks. Flak trucks do not provide much in the way of combat efficiency here. Okay, we're seeing the missile subs. They still cost 2,000, so a bit of a purchase here. Bit of an investment, a luxury purchase. It's like, yeah, it's like the Gucci store where you must at first purchase the cheaper models to even get into the club. Otherwise, they're just not gonna sell the more expensive models to you. You must prove that you've got the funding, and then you get to do the absolute luxury purchases here. Missile submarine is out. In the German version, one of the interesting choices was, you know, how everything got turned into cyborgs and so on, but one interesting change was, that was not gameplay related, but lore related. The missile sub got, in German, it was called the Submarine of the Wolf class. And that is an actual real-life NATO designation for some of the submarines that the Soviets used way back in the Cold War. So that just struck me as very interesting that they would just name them after the real-life NATO designations, despite keeping everything else less realistic, you know. Okay, so this base is completely dismantled. Orb is being pushed out here. Oh no, missile sub got found out by a destroyer. This time around, it's the redemption arc for, oh my goodness, redemption arc for DyingFetus here. Oh wow, jeez Louise. However, they're losing the boots on the ground fight. Artillery though, from the backlines, hammering home and decimating the infantry squad. Oh my goodness! Goodness gracious, I think those artilleries turned the tide. They were enough. Yep. My lord! Melee range artilleries trying to kite back here, not finding much. This is looking good for team number 2. Somehow. Now he needs to push decisively and try and push them out of the game. But you know, I've seen games lost from better positions than this one. Still though, a highly entertaining game. Tanya is out. That must be team number 2 because team number 1 doesn't have allies. Blackened is trying to just snipe some econ. He's gonna be matched here by Anjew pushing in and trying to tackle a couple, trying to raid the econ here as well. Oh, he's not being decisive enough. So this base is crucially still mining. Mining its own business. Oh, the destroyer versus submarine wars this time around. Man, we're seeing some good naval gameplay, I've gotta say. Again, the destroyers, while they're on hit and run duty, they can do so much damage. That was really well played. DyingFetus on his redemption arc here. And Tanya, oh, running into it. Oh wait, that is Anjew's Tesla coil. Never mind. Yeah, he's sending Tanya along for the ride. And there we go. That is gonna be a dead eco line indeed. No! He's deciding against it. Tanya's in a good spot, but she may get crushed. Let's see. Oh, no, she's still in a very safe position. The APCs have provided a lot of value. Anjew's APCs this time around have been very efficient. They also just provide a meat shield for Tanya to go ham. To go ham-bony here. Yep, base once again dismantled. Tanya is still alive, just chilling back in the base. Ah, there is now a yak out. First spotter. Man, what a game, what a series. Again, the artilleries have deflected one of the pushes. 3 more tanks coming in, but this time around they're not going to be able to do much. And the yak, I believe, has spotted that there is nothing much left here in terms of defense. Orb is trying to retreat a bit deeper. I don't know if that's the right call here. If the yak catches a whiff of this. Yeah, This is toast. Let's see how much DPS is the missile sub gonna pump out here. Right now, not too much just yet. APC still alive because it is moving, firing on the move. Ah, gets another crush. Good hustle. And there is going to be a dead MCV indeed. What about that ping? Oh, there's a lot of ore being unharvested. Tanya is now in as well. So this base is completely dismantled. Ah, missile sub snipes out the APC, which was on its last legs to be fair already. Ooh, Tanya under siege. Blowing up some structures though. Is there a force fire? No. And he doesn't have a spotter. Well, now neither does Anjew. That was kind of unfortunate. Oh, the hijackers are coming in. Against a tank build from Orb, the problem is it's really risky because they can't close the gap against infantry. How's that gonna work? So, what Team 2 needs to work on right now is claiming this econ, and just macroing up. Macroing to hell and back, so they can actually gain some more foothold on the map. But it's looking very, very good for them. DyingFetus is building a cruiser. Hell yeah. Man, Orb and Blackened have set up a perimeter of missile subs though. And those can be really annoying. Speaking of annoying, there's the Destroyer Blob just sniping at technicians. That is a good use of taxpayer money, you know. Those, what are they armed with? Tomahawk missiles? I don't know. Basically free, you know. Don't cost the taxpayer too much, Kappa Pride. Tanya chasing away the entire army of Blackened. He's trying to turn and burn. But Tanya is standing her ground. Oh, that is a bit too deep. That's okay. She's provided a lot of value and she will be back in 30 seconds, I believe. Man, what a game. What a time to be an OpenRA player when there's actual naval combat possible now. Very ill-fated Tesla Quill. As we've learned from the campaigns, destroyers are very, very good against Tesla Quills. In the campaigns, actually, they outrange him. Oh, Demo Truck! My goodness! Oh! The lonesome mechanic surviving. Just to tell the tale of the nuclear blast, he has looked into the abyss. The abyss is stared back. That was an amazing Demo Truck. Was not manually detonated, so no bounties, but still. Splitting the difference here. Okay, here's another push. I doubt it's gonna be enough. Orber's got a really sturdy front line, but the APCs are good, and the front lines are starting to crumble. Yeah, starting to get pushed back here. The cruiser is taking them under siege as well. Oh my goodness, is other destroyers gonna find the mammoth tank? They're gonna find it immediately. So this mammoth, probably not long for this world. Where's the cruiser firing on? GG. Game 1 is, game number 2 is in the sack, and the cruiser is probably gonna target the blob. Missing just a little. Oh, parabombs as well. Defense, defense, defense. I think that's gonna hit. That's gonna hit just perfectly fine. Takes a chunk out of the mammoth at least. Man, what a display. GG, and the Iron Curtain can't come out anymore. That was a game and a half. That was awesome. So we're gonna split the maps here. There's probably gonna be a game 3 somewhere in the replays, which I'll have to check. But for now, that was an amazing display of naval gameplay. I think those balance changes have definitely upped it a little bit, souped up the naval gameplay, and we're gonna be back for more. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next time. 5 Aces out.
Battle control terminated.